Hey everybody, it's Dave. This is the Meniere's Experience. Welcome. If you like what you see, subscribe. I'm trying a new microphone system, so bear with me. So now this is becoming almost cyclical. Okay, every few months, 6 months, a year, people tend to come up with things to see if what the response would be. If people have tried this or whatever. So now we're back to psilocybin. Yesterday I saw a few posts of people asking about it for Meniere's disease. And there's really no evidence of it. Okay? The plain truth is there's no evidence of it. There's no research. Whatever research is being done, it has not been done by the FDA or anything like that. Okay? There is no clinical evidence of it working. Okay? Which to me is probably not a good idea to try it. It and it actually could worsen your dizziness, your nausea, sensory overload. You got to understand, psilocybin or magic mushrooms is a hallucinogen. It makes you hallucinate. It makes you feel good. It makes you high. It doesn't do anything for your Meniere's. Even microdosing it might not. There is one thing that I did read, but it was not a clinical trial, that some people are saying it's helped with their tinnitus, um, which could make sense because the tinnitus comes from your brain. But you're taking a very big risk with taking this stuff because it's not regulated. It's not produced, by a pharmaceutical company. You're literally taking someone's word for it that it's good, it's this, it's that. Um, like buying drugs on the corner, heroin or whatever. You don't know what they put in it, you know. Oh, how they're going to do that? Believe me, they can do things, you know. All they got to do is sprinkle something powder on top of it. Boom, you're done. So, you know, you got to be careful. Psilocybin is not illegal drug. It's an illegal drug, federally. Okay, because I know someone's going to come up and go, "Oh, well, in my state it's legal." Well, yeah, in my state marijuana is legal too, but if the feds wanted to come in and shut everything down, they could. They could shut everything down, take all the weed, take all the money, take everything, because it's not federally. It's a federal law. Even though the federals are a little lax on marijuana, they're not the same with psilocybin. There was a guy in Connecticut who was growing magic mushrooms, psilocybin. Feds came in and took everything, as well as the $5 million he made doing it. And now he's serving, I believe, 20 years in federal pen. Okay? So those are other things you got to take into consideration before you want to try something that is basically illegal. Um, but yeah, it really, it doesn't treat Meniere's. It's guys don't realize what it's doing. It's your brain. It's intercepting with the neurons and all that stuff, the receptors and everything, and the dopamine and all that. So it's a very dangerous thing to try. And I know some people do it; they swear by it. Okay, you know, uh, that's great. It works for you. Be careful, but it works for you. I'm not telling somebody not to try it. I'm just giving you the warning that no one else does. It's a hallucinogen. That's it. You know, it's literally what the Native Americans used years ago. Practicing their religion, and they would go on a vision quest, and they would take the peyote and go on a vision quest, or take the magic mushroom and go on a vision quest. That's what it is. So, you know, be careful. Be very, very careful. I got to send the warning out there. And I know there's going to be people that tell me it works for me. It's legal in my state. It's legal in Oregon. It's just, I don't give a crap. You put junk in, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's good. And who knows what the long-term effects are, you know? And, you know, because I'm kind of an open person anyways, I had my experiences with this stuff back when I was a teen, you know? Like it was like back then we called it a microdot. Microdosing, microdot, same thing. And we would put it on our tongue, and everything was brighter, everything was sound, and just an escape. Now maybe now it's a little less, but I had my experiences with that. And one time I did it, and I didn't know where I was for 3 days. I had no idea what I was saying. I had no idea what I was doing. I was told I was pretty happy. I was laughing the whole time. I got suspended from school because the teachers thought I was being obnoxious. I was on a 3-day trip. One little thing, because it was probably over what normally it is, sent me on a 3-day trip. Yeah. So I've had my experiences with stuff. So for me trying it, no, I never will. I never will. I will be honest, and I do from time to time, THC. I vape it sometimes because, you know, my tinnitus can get too loud. It calms me down. And like I said, I like to rotate things. I don't like to depend on one thing. I've said it before where, you know, if I'm having a vertigo attack, one time the rescue med may be meclizine. The next vertigo attack, it might be a Benadryl. And that's just to knock me out. A Valium the next trip, or it's CBD. Okay? So I'll be honest. But as far as this, you know, bringing it up to treat Meniere's disease, no. There's no record of it. There's no research of it. No clinical research. Someone bringing 20 people in with Meniere's disease and says, here, take this, how do you feel? That's not a test for the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people who actually have this disease or have tinnitus or have vertigo without Meniere's and all that stuff. That's not a test. That's somebody trying to pass something off. Okay? Almost like I've said before, taking shit, throwing it against the wall and seeing if it would stick. Same thing. Okay? So, like I said, you guys can do what you want. I'm not going to tell you not to. You're adults. You can do your own research. But this is what I mean by when I've made this statement before. Do your research. Posting something like that in a support group, is it research? Kinda. But you know what? All you have to do is go to Google, type in psilocybin and Meniere's disease, or Meniere's disease and psilocybin. Did I say simple Simon? You know what I mean. And psilocybin, sorry, when I talk too fast, psilocybin, and it will give you all the information you need. Not AI, just a regular Google search. It'll give you everything you need to know. So, but posting a question isn't a bad thing, but you're going to, like with everything, you're going to get a lot of people that say, oh, it works for me. And, you know, like this disease, not everything works for everybody. And it's going to be the same. It's the same with beta histine. It's the same with meclizine for a rescue drug. It's probably going to be the same for Epsilon when it comes out. It's just not going to work for everybody. Work for enough people, just not everybody. So you can make your own decision. My advice, if you're asking, is no, don't do it. Not worth it. Not worth it. I'm telling you, you can really, even microdose, you can really screw up your brain and make things worse. So have a good Saturday. Happy weekend to everybody. If you're in New England, it's supposed to be beautiful. I was supposed to be away this weekend, but my better half hurt her back, and we're home resting. And on that note, I will talk to you all later.